And hello, welcome everybody to another edition of Dis After Dark. I'm Nick.
I'm Paul D.
I'm Craig.
Paul W.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm also very late, so apologies to everyone. This show's going to be a bit of a mess because these poor gentlemen have been waiting in the pub for me to turn up. I've come in drunk and disorderly to ruin everything, so this could be a bit of a car crash. Not literally, obviously. That's don't drink and drive. Right, what's everyone drinking?
Well, I had a crate of beer. It's gone now, so I'm on the tea.
I've drank a bottle of Tiger and a Glenmorangie.
And he means Tiger Blood, not beer.
I've literally had 12 men of Tane deep inside me tonight.
It's gonna be that kind of show, folks.
Yeah.
Paul.
I've already got through a bottle of rum, so I'm on the lemonade now.
When you say a bottle of rum, what do you mean by that?
A miniature.
Yeah, basically, no.
You're not a
The amount
pirate.
of time we've been waiting for Nick. Yeah, a proper full-size bottle.
Wow.
Mr. Ripley.
Water.
Oh my God. What are you
Right.
wearing?
Right, don't worry. Right.
Penny.
Now, as I pointed out, I was late to the pub. This next stunt is not the reason I'm late from the pub, but I'm going to do something which I don't believe has ever been done on the history of podcasts.
Masturbate?
Here or anyway. No. This is to do
Is
with
it a cunning stunt?
It is indeed a cunning stunt. Now, I'm hoping that you'll pick this up, so hang on. Please tell me that you can hear this.
Oh, he's not pooing.
No.
Oh, he's weird. That's diarrhea.
No, it's not, boys. This
It's a soda stream.
is the sound of a soda stream. Bitches!
Is it?
Right.
Oh, he called it back
Oh.
in the net.
Absolute retro. As far as I'm concerned, there's no better way to go. They're not sponsoring the show yet, but let's see if we can make it happen. We're going to have some fizzy juice right now. I've put a bit of I can't put vodka in the soda stream bottle, but I'll put it in the glass that I'll consume it in. So, chin chin.
What flavour?
Just orange. Just orange. I'm going traditional. Well, actually,
With-
no, hang on. Orange and mango. Orange and mango.
With vodka in?
Well, the vodka's to be added.
Oh.
Not in the soda stream. That'd be come on, Craig. That's ludicrous. Who puts vodka into a soda stream? Well, I'll tell you what. If you do put vodka into a soda stream, you can let us know by visiting our website www.disafterdark.com, or you can email us at podcast@disafterdark.com.
And you can find us on Twitter, so you can tweet us, or you can find us on Facebook /Dis After Dark.
We're on Instagram as well. And we're on Tinder, Gaydar, and
Grinder.
sodastream.com too.
Don't forget the blogspot.com.co.uk, sorry.
Yes, that's the other way of getting to the website.
Yeah.
That is indeed true. So how has everyone been?
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been good.
Yeah, good. Be good.
Well, we were supposed to have some guests on tonight. They weren't able to make it. That's what we'll say. And so instead, we've got a few other things to talk about. Now, we've not prepared. I was going to say we've not prepared for this show, but then that's pretty much the same for every show we ever do. But I know there are a few things that we wanted to discuss tonight. So, I'll tell you what, Craig. I'll let you decide. You've been off for the last few. What are we leading with tonight?
Well, I think we've got to go with Rogue Squadron, to be honest.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. So excited.
And you just can't hide it.
Yeah. I'm wearing
State your name for the record.
Darth Vader mask. Because he's not in the
Forgery of imperial documents.
Oh, God.
Possession of stolen
So
property. Aggravated assault.
He's very good.
Resisting arrest.
On
That's
your
why I
own
liked
at the
it.
age of 15, reckless,
Right,
aggressive,
yeah,
and
I'm caught. Right, no. Time
It sounds
out.
like somebody from Liverpool, doesn't it? That criminal record.
15. You're 15 years old, she says, right? Their planet revolves around a different sun to ours, right? So how did he know she's 15? Is she 15 on their planet?
Well, yeah, but look, I mean, I understand why you're pausing it at that point and saying what you're saying, but we've always had numbers in Star Wars. I mean, how quickly does the Millennium Falcon travel?
I can't remember. It
Quarter.
still burns me head out when...
15 parsecs?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
12 parsecs?
Whatever.
So,
Well, yeah, if you
numerical
take the handbrake
values...
off, yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got the handbrake on. That's stupid. But no, I mean, obviously, if you are... if you're travelling at light speed, the numbers are the same. It's just that the values are slightly different. So the numbers themselves, the numerical values, are the equivalent to what we would know, but their values are slightly different.
Yeah, but if you live on Pluto and you're 15 years old...
Hang on, his planet... Oh, right, because Pluto was a planet, then it wasn't a planet. Is it back to being a planet again?
All right, let's all get on your anus.
Well, that wouldn't be for the first time. We've already done it once tonight, I'm sure, before I even got here. Yes, okay, you can have that.
Yeah, so you're 15 years old. So is she 324 or is she actually 6 weeks old?
By the looks of her, I'm hoping for the first answer rather than the other one, because that would be a bit weird.
That's all I'm saying. But apart from that, I'm dead excited. So go ahead. As Claire Rayner used to say, "Come on, lovies, let's press on."
And to American listeners, Sally Jesse Raphael, I suppose. It's probably the nearest to her. Right. It's good, didn't it? I mean, Craig, you've already said it, and I mean, I think out of everyone on the show, you're probably the least interested in Star Wars.
Yeah.
In comparison to everyone else.
Until episode 7 dropped, and our youngest, our Grace, has done me proud. She's wearing Star Wars t-shirts. She's got the DVD. She's got the digital download. Every time I look at her, she's watching it. So I'm a Star Wars fan now. I've got someone to enjoy it with. My eldest, our Eve, she's not interested. She just rolls her eyes at us and walks out the room. But
which is why you now have a favourite.
Yes. I don't, Eve. I'm joking.
No, you do. Because it's the same. It'll be the same with me. The one who decides to like Star Wars first, that will be my favourite. I mean, it should be my son, granted. But, my daughter's been the one that's been in the Stormtrooper pyjamas.
Yeah.
She's a bit older, she gets it a little bit, she's still too young, but, she'll sit there and watch Rebels longer than he will. So therefore, at the moment, she's tipping it in her favour. What happens when he gets a bit older, who knows? But certainly for now, she's definitely on the right track.
And our Grace can tell you all the characters from 7. She's watched 4, 5 and 6, and she doesn't judge 1, 2 and 3. She enjoys them. She particularly enjoys that weird one who goes under the water.
Lee Malaby.
He's got a look of Jar Jar, I'll give you that.
And they both talk weird.
Me's a Geordie.
Why, aye, man. I've got a little fishy on a little dishy and I've got a head like an orange.
Spooky! I think that's all the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Totally.
I mean, the thing is, so granted, the fact that you are as excited as you are, I mean, I think it was just come overload for the rest of us. Come over with emotion. I obviously got some of that sentence. I mean, we was all come over with emotion.
Face, neck, and chest. Take my money.
All over the body. I mean, it's a beautiful trailer, And the thing is, I think the thing that surprises me the most about it is the fact that, obviously, episode 7, there was all the hype and excitement because we was going to get the last 3 episodes of the saga that we'd been promised back in the 80s. That never, we thought were never going to happen under George Lucas's watch. And it also had to do a lot of damage control. So there's a lot riding on it, an awful lot riding on it. Whilst this one, it's not that it slipped under the radar, but it was always going to be like a kind of a B movie, really. Like, it was just going to be a Star Wars film, and it could be good, it could be bad, but it wasn't as important as like an episode. But that trailer makes me sneeze. That trailer is it's beautifully cut. It's got everything in it to make a Star Wars fan want to watch it.
But there's a but.
Yeah, and what a but it is as well. I mean, you only see it for a few seconds, but it's lovely.
Where is Vader?
That's the beauty.
Vader.
You don't need Vader.
He's in it.
He's in it.
Oh no!
It's been confirmed now.
No. So I didn't mean that. What I meant was he doesn't need to be in the trailer.
No,
They're
doesn't.
ramping it up.
Remember, that's only the first trailer.
Yeah.
There will be others.
And you'll only see the back of his head anyway.
His shiny back,
Well, it
his dome
depends.
head.
You know what? I would have agreed with you, Craig, if he was being played by Benedict Cumberbatch. But as he's not, you never know. Because obviously we all know you only ever see the back of Benedict's head. Certainly on movie posters, but we'll come to that later on. But I didn't need Vader. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's great that he's the villain. And obviously that's very exciting for everybody. But it's the first trailer.
And it's been watched 32 million times in a week.
It'd be interesting to see the stats. I don't think it's anywhere. I'm pretty sure episode 7 had a lot higher than that. But as I said, again, much more anticipation to that. And I mean, I watched it straight off the bat. Once they showed it at the launch last year, I watched it straight away again. So that was 2 views within 4 minutes. But no, it's a glorious trailer, and we've actually talked about this behind your back, Craig. And there is a scene in the trailer which I pinpointed, so I actually know, and I've watched this and I've verified it as well. In the trailer, that's filmed in a London kind of landmark, really.
Yeah.
A scene shot in Canary Wharf tube station.
That's quite bizarre, that, isn't it?
Well, what's bizarre is the fact that no one's picked up that it says Canary Wharf.
Does it?
No, it doesn't.
In the background.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And
Darth Vader's in the background playing 20p to poo.
that is a Scouse game I've never heard of, I've got to be honest. No,
it's all the stormtroopers running through the turnstile, putting the tickets in. That's the dead giveaway.
Yeah, and
They didn't even have their Oyster cards.
Yeah.
these are not the Oyster cards you were looking for. Because of course they want us to all go contactless now anyway, without Oyster cards.
That should be the show title, Craig.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, you wouldn't really spot it unless you've ever been there. It's quite a distinctive looking station though, so once you notice it, you can't not forget that's where it is. Very well done though. You wouldn't necessarily know. So it's quite well done. But
did anybody else? Sorry.
No,
did anybody else think this is really episode 3?
Yeah.
No, but I wish it was.
The way I termed it was that
3.1.
basically someone's gone back to the 80s and reattached George Lucas's balls.
No, they're lost.
They're long gone.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones is still looking for them.
Oh my God, that's what was chasing Indiana Jones, wasn't it? George
Jones and the
Lucas's
crystal balls.
No, George Lucas's oversized testicle. One of them was chasing. We thought it was a boulder. All these years, we thought he was being chased by a boulder. He wasn't. It was
And now the other one's in the stunt show.
I'm not being funny, but
Could
you're
be the
taking the
Albert
mic. That's my uncle, that.
Explains why you're so wealthy.
What's your language? I've got my Peppa Pig undies on here, so stop it.
I don't even want to know where you hide your pork, Craig, to be completely fair. But I mean, it's got so many money shots, and yet, as you said, Paul, the one money shot it doesn't have is Vader. So it has all of those things like the AT-ATs and everything like that, but it doesn't have the shot that you would think would sell it. And that to me speaks volumes, because the fact that we're all sitting here excited as you like about it, and yet the one thing they could have shown that would have just gone, "Aah!" They've not even shown. They've possibly saved it for trailer 2.
A little insight into his sex life there.
You should have seen the face I was putting on, like Chewbacca.
I thought that was one of those sand people.
That's how my eyes go. But yeah, I mean, maybe he will. Maybe he'll be in the second trailer. Maybe he won't. But
I don't want to see him until the film.
the thing is, though, it's not going to be a massive reveal, is it? Because we already know what he looks like.
How do you know?
Because we saw episode 3.
He might be in rose gold.
Well, if this is set before episode 4, it's set earlier in the 70s. So, I mean, we could be talking flares, we could be talking high-waisters.
Sideys.
Yeah,
Lots
open
of
neck
sides.
shirt down at the navel.
Now, what I am
Gold
interested,
chains.
you're getting your pants in a twist about Darth Vader showing up.
Mull of Kintyre.
I've got to be honest. I'm more interested in the rumour that Peter Cushing's going to be turning up.
What?
Yeah, not zombie Peter
No.
Cushing either, because that'd be all kinds of wrong. No, apparently, that this was being talked about. I don't know if this is what they've decided to go ahead with or what, but what they were going to do was they were going to recreate him as an effect similar to Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy, or what they did with Michael Douglas in Ant-Man. Now I'm speaking about this as if I'd seen it. I've not seen Ant-Man still, but I know what they've done. Or even what they've done with Pee Wee Herman recently as well. And so they're going to kind of map his face onto someone else.
Whoa, I've just seen the Pee Wee Herman film. Doesn't he look like that no more?
No. He's in Gotham now.
To be fair, which is quite interesting because it's the same role he played in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that to DC After Dark. Another spin-off. But Pee Wee Herman,
he the guy in the cinema?
Was he in Batman Returns?
He's the Penguin's dad in Batman Returns.
Stop it.
Yeah, go back and watch it. Still him.
Shut the front door.
Oh, the front door is slammed, my friend. Pee Wee Herman nowadays, or Paul Rubens as he probably likes to be called, doesn't look that dissimilar to Pee Wee Herman. But at the same time, he obviously does look quite a bit older. So they did a lot of post work on his face. So it's him acting it, but they kind of smoothed his face out to make him look younger. And they spent that was nearly where all the budget went, to be completely honest, according to him anyway. But done a bloody good job because it doesn't look like, as you say, it doesn't look like his age at all. He still looks very good for his age. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look quite as smooth as he does in that film. But anyway, getting off that. So they're trying. The rumour was they're going to put Peter Cushing back in the film using sound bites from other films that he's done, sound bites from Star Wars, spliced together with new footage of an actor. They'll be wearing a blue mask on their face so they can map it in afterwards.
Darth Vader's knickers on us. Yeah.
Possibly.
Oh.
I mean, the easiest way of doing it is, we didn't know that he suffered really bad acne, and he has to wear a brown paper bag over his head.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the angle they're going for. Anyway, it's not officially confirmed. Like with a lot of Star Wars stuff, there's a lot of stuff going around being talked about. Some of it will be true, some of it won't be. But it'd be interesting if that is the case. So that's the money shot I'm interested in if they do decide to do it. Because he was he's commander in chief or whatever. So yeah. But anyway, we haven't got long to wait, have we? It's December.
What if they had Vader, right, without the helmet?
I think you're thinking of former WCW and later WWF wrestler Big Van Vader, who did kind of wear Mask of Salts, but it wasn't anything like Darth Vader's. Yeah, that's really tenuous, isn't it? Sorry.
You're showing your age there, Nick.
I'm showing I'm a loser. I don't know about my age. That's another thing. Well, they have got... We do know it's not Dave Prowse, don't we?
Yeah.
They have confirmed that there is a new actor playing Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Have they confirmed the voice, though?
The rumour is that it is going to be
James
Earl Jones.
It's got to be him, hasn't he?
Well, because, does he do the cartoons?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I'm sure he did Rebels.
He'd do anything for a packet of custard creams, I think.
Oh, he's back on the Lion Guard, so I can't imagine he turned down Rebels.
Is he really?
Yeah.
God, that looks cack. I watched about 5 minutes of it. I left the kids watching it. I couldn't be dealing with it anymore. And that's interesting because a lot of the, because the guy they have doing Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think sounds really like, what's his face?
Ewan McGregor.
Luke Cogsworth, Ewan McGregor. Yeah, I think he really sounds like him. So, they obviously do pick a good voice actor, but I wasn't sure if he was still doing those. It's interesting. And, it's good that you mentioned custard creams there, but after the flooding and the biscuit factory instances that we've had up north, they're on short supply. It's really hard to get custard creams down here in Essex. So I don't know if that's going to have any impact on you know, if he finds out that he might not be able to get all the custard creams he wants, I don't know if he might pull out. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, so not long. So December. Who was that?
It's Pee-wee.
Pee Wee Herb. They should get Paul Rubens to do Darth Vader's voice. Let's try the Death Star. It sounds better than that, obviously, but it's not bad. Yeah. So anyway, so that's obviously a big thing we're talking about, and there's other films that we will talk about a bit later on, I think. But we spent an awful long time talking Star Wars, and we could go on, but there is other pressing things. So Craig, topic number 2. Or Paul, go on.
No, well, quickly, you referenced the money shot before, so that is a segue to Wendy Prater at Magical Journeys Travel.
Wow. I thought my segues are bad.
Have you not? You've seen her profile picture. She's a stunner. So
I think her name should be Wendy Pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy. Whether you've been to Disney 1 or 100 times, there's still a lot of planning involved. Let Wendy bend over backwards at midnight to open your windows to the Be Our Guest reservations and the coveted Anna and Elsa Fast Pass for your princesses. Mention you heard the ad on Dis After Dark and get $25 off your deposit with any trip and package. WPMagicalJourneys.com. Get over there and poke Wendy. There you go.
On Facebook, obviously. I mean, I don't poke on Twitter or anything like that, but definitely on Facebook. So, one other thing that we've been teasing for a while now, and I think that we should stop teasing, because otherwise people are just going to think we're Checkerdine from Pliers, and we don't want to get that confused again, is the fact that one of us here is a DVC member.
He's not a very good DVC member, though, to be honest.
No, terrible.
Why would that be?
Because I can never remember all the bloody rules.
Well, the first rule of being in the DVC club is you don't talk about the DVC club, but we're trying to exercise that one completely. But yes, as you can probably guess, it's not me because I'm too cheap. It's not Craig, it's not PD, and it's not P Dubs. So that leaves Chris.
P Dubs.
P Dubs. Yeah, 'cause, like, did you not know he used to be a Ghost DJ?
Oh, Carolina. Good lad. Sorry.
That's Shaggy. It's just like an 80s throwback show. Anyway,
I ain't going on no podcast, fool.
Said some of the people scheduled to be here tonight. So, Chris, you know what? Why don't we get nominated for Sony Radio Awards? I don't know. Why don't we have more guests? So, Chris is a DVC member.
Expert.
Now, some of us, I've also been called members before, but not a DVC one. So, you know, it's something that obviously we've been talking about quite a lot on our other podcast, the Pub Snacks, which I'm sure you've also been listening to, or at least hope you are.
In your hundreds. Thank you very much, listeners.
And, it's worthwhile doing it. And, you know, we've talked about a lot of the DVC places, but they're quite hard to access unless you are one. So, Chris, like, how long have you been a DVC member?
About 18 months. Not very long.
Oh, wow.
How much did it cost?
Now, come on, stop. Like, you're obsessed with money shots, aren't you? Jesus Christ. Keep it in your pants, son. Your Peppa Pig pants. Let's
Joey's joined the conversation now.
Let's kind of go back a little bit, you know, to about 18 months before, and I'm assuming that you went on one of those presentation trips.
Yeah, I think we did originally. Yeah, I mean they
memorable, obviously.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago now. No, because we are foreigners, DVC is slightly different for us. A lot of people don't realise that.
Oh God, so it's shit.
So no. We get all the same rights and responsibilities, but we get extra stuff that the Americans don't get.
Free healthcare.
Dun, dun,
Do
dun.
tell.
Baggage tags for your luggage.
Yeah. No. What I'm talking about is you have to buy into DVC, and you unless you've got the money hanging around, which most people don't, you have to pay. You can apply for a loan in America, then they'll loan it to you. Blah blah blah. Because we're foreigners, there's no credit checking. There's no nothing. You just hand over your card, and they'll just charge you a bit every month.
Wow.
So yeah, so you can use, like for me, I use American Express because I get the air miles, so I can.
The preferred credit card of Dis After Dark.
Oh, should we get them to sponsor us as well?
Yeah, come on then.
Yeah, no, I'm sure, WDW Today, Wendy, and American Express sounds like the holy trio. Yeah. And SodaStream.
SodaStream, yeah.
Let's make it the
Oh,
four
SodaStream.
of Dis After Dark.
Centurion Amex cards and Soda Streams all round.
What's in your wallet? Oh, no, the other one. Crap. Well, they can sponsor us as well if they want. I don't care. I'm not fussy. Anyway.
Yeah, so there's that. That's different, obviously. And then you buy in, so then you own a little piece, an actual piece of property in America.
Oh, hang on. Whoa, right, I'm going to stop you there. Because you know how I like to embarrass myself and tell you really silly facts about me. I've obviously got more than I even remember because it's only when certain things are said that triggers this. So you've got a little piece of something, a little bit of land in America, essentially.
I own probably about an inch square of a roof tile at the Polynesia.
I don't own a roof tile of that size, but I do own a square metre of land
On the moon.
on a loch in Scotland.
Okay.
That means
Reason
you're
being,
allowed.
I am a laird,
A laird.
which,
Oh.
of course, in England means I'm a lord.
Oh, yeah, I've done that. I'm Lord Lucas, me.
There you go. Me and Craig have both done it.
You're the one they've been looking for years.
Yeah, you're the
Joking.
one that
My dad used to get called that at work because he was never at his desk. And now he's never in my life, so it follows through. So I did that, and because the thing is, as Craig will attest, it doesn't actually give
You've only got
proper
one ball.
peerage. And the other's in the Albert Hall, or chasing after Indiana Jones after George Lucas's. But you can kind of use it as a title, but it's a paper title, so it doesn't mean anything. So I immediately changed my Nectar card. So my Nectar card, other loyalty cards are available, of course. But my Nectar card says Lord N Branch. And, at 21, I thought that was quite funny. At 32, it's a little bit embarrassing now. So I don't really shop in Sainsbury's anymore, just so I don't have to use my Nectar card.
Do they call you, thank you, my grace, when they swipe your card?
No, because all arseholes. Well, they're not all arseholes, but, I just kind of... They do say, oh, how did you... Like, are you actually a lord? I'm like, yeah. And I start, try and keep the conversation short before, some snotty, spotty teenager goes, oh, shit, do you mean like a gay lord? Because, obviously, by looking
he'd only
at
be
me and how
telling
I
the
talk...
truth, Nick.
What a
Well,
knob
I was
lord.
going to say, by the way I talk and the way I look, then it's quite easily to for them to imagine that I could possibly be. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Equal opportunities. But, so you own a roof tile, which is exciting. And,
Yeah.
And over time, do you get to own more than a single roof tile, or?
Well, you can buy extra roof tiles. You can buy a second roof tile, or you can buy a roof tile at Bay Lake Towers if you want.
So where's your roof tile? Did you
At the
tell
Poly.
us? Oh, the Poly, yeah.
So that's your home resort then, Chris?
Yeah.
And how much did that cost you?
Oh,
God, it's all about the bling bling with you, Craig, isn't it?
it is.
Our listener in his prison cell
Just our one listener.
is wanting to know. He's banging his fists against his prison wall, going, "I need to know, Chris. Chris, I need to know now."
My dad's in jail? I know I wasn't talking to him, but still. Go.
I think.
I think.
I'm not sure because I haven't seen anything for ages. But
I haven't signed it.
I think it was about $9,000.
$6,000.
So
you pay that off in bits over however long you want to pay it off.
So you buy a certain number of points, Chris, yeah?
Yeah, that buys you your points.
But you can buy...
points
is there a minimum and a maximum number of points you can buy?
Some people say there is a minimum and a maximum, but when we went, the bloke said there wasn't. But I think most people buy around 100 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's like their starting...
How many did you buy then?
We bought 100.
So what does that actually mean, other than prizes?
Well, I mean, it gets a little bit complicated because you have to look at these great big flow charts and work out when you want to go, what time of the year it is, what season it is, and then it tells you how much points are per day or points are per weekend or points per week. So then you have to, you know what Disney nerds are like. They love this stuff, don't they? You know. So
They
oh, sorry,
are
us. Sorry.
So have you used them then?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, and where did you use them for? The Poly or elsewhere?
I haven't used it. I have stayed at the Poly, but I didn't use them for the Poly. We used them. I think we actually did use them at Bay Lake Towers. Come to think of it.
And are you penalised for using them elsewhere?
No. The only reason you have a home resort is your name has to be on literally a piece of property in America, so that's where your name is actually on. Right. But also because it's your home resort, you can book that resort earlier than anyone else.
Right, okay.
You know the last 3 digits on your Nectar card to your home store at Sainsbury's.
All right, Lord Branch.
Where you registered your Nectar card.
Lord Branch of Sainsbury's.
Don't be getting all highfalutin on us. Put your plums back in your gob.
It explains a lot. So, I mean, obviously it's still new to you, you know, being about 18 months or so, but is it too early to make a judgment? Is this something you'd recommend? Is it something that you are going to possibly expand on? Or do you think that 100 points is what you want?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've just called up Bay Lake Towers chart. So if you was to go in the lowest time of the year, which is all of January,
birthday. Oh yeah,
all of September and early December, for a week in a studio, which sleeps up to 4 people, it's 102 points. So if you get 100 points per year, I'd have to borrow 2 points from next year, which you can do. So then what I've bought would then give me a week at Bay Lake Tower on those dates.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So then you can... Sorry, go on, Paul.
I was just going to ask, Chris, the borrowing thing you mentioned there.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking you can borrow from last year and then you've got this year's and then you can bring forward from next year? Is it 3 years you can put together?
You can put 3 years worth together. If it's over that, then you lose the points.
Right.
So, and then you can, if say you've got 100 points from this year, 100 from last, and 100 from next year, so you've got 300 points, and you want to book a villa for 2 weeks, and it's say, I don't know, 310 points, you can actually buy another additional 10 points.
Right.
Up to, I think you can, it's up to like 40 points or something.
Oh, do you keep 10 points forever? The additional, no. So you're just buying them for the top up?
For that year,
for that year, yeah. That's all. So at what point would you say you break even on this?
I think we worked it out, and it was, what was it now? It was something like if we went at least once a year for 8 years or something, we would be in profit. But it varies for everyone. It's so different.
And them 100 points you've bought, they're obviously worth $9,000 now. In these 18 months, are they worth $10,000 now? Are they worth?
No, because I'm paying off that 9,000.
Right.
So once that 9,000's paid off, I have bought those 100 points. So I get 100 points every year for 35, 40 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you can resell them, can't you, Chris?
You can resell
if you
them.
want. Yeah.
And the only other thing you have to pay is every year you pay a maintenance fee for your resort.
Oh, go on. How much then?
I
$3.50?
think $3.50. No, it's less than that. I think it was about £100 a year, something like that.
That's not too bad. It's just...
I don't know if this is up to date, but I'm looking at something that says between $4.50. This is dollars, $4.50 and $7.40, depending on which resort it is. So it varies by resort, I think.
Oh, that's quite expensive, I think.
Per point per year. So if you don't go, you've still got to pay the annual dues.
You have to pay the maintenance fee every year.
You know what? All these talks are points. It reminds me that if you go shopping at Sainsbury's with your Nectar card, you get 2 points for every £1 you spend. Alex Treen.
What about Aristocracy? Do they get 3 points?
No, they don't give us anything extra. That's Asda. Alex Treen. Hello, by the way.
Our beloved.
Alex. Well, indeed. Said that constantly looking into DVC and looking into resale points. Now, is that something that you yourself have ever kind of looked into or considered, or it's still early doors for you, so you wouldn't be that far ahead?
Well, I bought mine direct off Disney, so I get all the perks and privileges. But I know now if you buy them through other people, you don't get all the perks anymore.
Yeah, they've just changed it in the last couple of weeks.
Literally, wasn't it? It was like last week or something. So I don't know what will happen to that industry. I don't know if that will make things slow up or what.
But if you've got your 100 points, there's nothing to stop you going and buy 100 knockoff points. That wouldn't penalise you for what you're getting now off Disney, would it?
You know what? I haven't thought about that. That's a bloody good idea.
It's all right, you can have that.
So what privileges do you lose then? If you buy through a reseller that you used to get?
Oh, I can't remember. What was it, Paul? They listed them, didn't they?
You're certainly going to lose access to all the exclusive lounges like the Top of the World. I think the one at Epcot as well. Yeah, you'll lose all your discounts. You won't get any DVC discounts.
That's right.
What do you think's a more privileged thing to have out of DVC membership, Club 33 membership, Club Cool membership, or
SodaStream?
No, SodaStream don't have memberships. Lordship, like me and Craig.
I would definitely say Club 33.
Yeah, I'd say Club 33 as well. But clearly, Nick, you're already a Lord, and so are you, Craig. So they're easy to get.
We just walk in. We don't even have to pay for Club 33. We just walk in and go, "We're Lords."
Flash them your Nectar card, surely.
Literally, you should be kissing me ring.
Can I just say, I've been trying to get into Club 33 for years with no success. So if anyone is listening and is a member, can they please email in? I'm glad to give you my hard-earned cash.
If anybody wants us to do a show from Club 33, we're up for it. That's fine.
Yeah. To be honest, the way things are going, if anyone wants us to do a show at Club Tropicana,
Coco Cabana.
Drinks are free.
Yeah, they're free.
Talking of drinks, today's show is sponsored by SodaStream.
Hey, an unexpected scene, so get busy with the fizzy with SodaStream. Big or small, get busy with the fizzy, short or tall. Crave a fizzy flavor with water from the tap. Press the magic button, shake it, just like that. Mix a little mixer, add a little dash. No trouble with the bubble, splish, a little splash. It's an endless stream, so get busy with the fizzy, SodaStream. That's fizzy.
The good news is I've got my receipt. That advert's now made me return my SodaStream. Thank you, 80s cartoon advert.
Get fizzy with the busy. That's
that was,
SodaStream.
That was the old. That was the slogan. Certainly the slogan when I was a nipper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. 1980.
Do you know who does advertising for SodaStream nowadays?
Hulk Hogan.
No, Scarlett Johansson, and we're going to talk about her in a minute, actually, after we finish with this chat. So,
well, I'm just logging in now to see what I pay yearly.
Oh God, is where he faints.
Annual dues, yeah, because I leave this to my wife to sort out. So I'm just having
Your wife. Let's all do a communal. My wife.
my
So
wife.
what?
You got to count
My
it in.
wife.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife. You quite finished?
Sorry,
We're trying to save time while cover time while.
Well, I had a DVC question for him, which was a relevant, on-topic question.
Oh, then we don't want to hear it.
Go on.
No, I know. That's a bit boring, really, isn't it? Let's go
No,
back to the my wife.
My wife. My wife.
My wife. No, damn it, I'm going to ask my question. So, other than Walt Disney World resorts, Chris, where else can you use your DVC points?
Well,
Sainsbury's.
good question, Paul. Any other Disney resort, pretty much. And you can also, they have a partnership with RCI, is it? RCI? Resorts, and they have thousands of hotels all around the place. So,
Yeah, because I've never understood that. Like, I suppose the thing is, when you think of, DVC, for those that don't know, is Disney Vacation Club.
Yep.
Correct, isn't it?
Yep.
Because I didn't actually look it up, I'm just guessing. And so you just assume that the only places you can use this stuff is in those places. But when you see or hear the talk or whatever, as you say, there's a list of other places literally all over the world. So you can use your DVC points if you wanted to come to London.
you could do. We could have, a week in a Hilton or something in the middle of London.
Yeah, or Travelodge.
Brixton.
A night in a travel lodge.
I go to London literally 5 times a week. Why would you want to go there on holiday?
Let's visit your bench.
Good point, well made. Carry on.
Yeah.
I thank you.
But as well as parks,
And right.
they've also got Disney's Vero Beach, Hilton
Yep.
Head, Alani in Hawaii. Fancy that one.
Cruise line? Can you use it on the cruise
You
line?
You can.
yeah.
Cruise
There's
line.
also a special DVC cruise every year,
Oh,
and
swingers.
they have Disney Legends on there.
I bet you they do.
Aye. Sylvia Crystal, whatever her name is. Disneyland Paris. You can use it there.
Yep, think so. Yeah,
California.
Talk about in a minute.
Said that.
yeah. Well, there is a DVC resort at the Grand Californian.
And Butlins. You can use it
Butlins,
there. No, I made that one up. Sorry.
Skeggy.
Skegness.
Bognor,
Birkenhead.
Bognor Butlins. That's 100 points to leave.
Darlington.
Other Heidi High style holiday camps are called available on DVC.
Idaho.
So
Right.
would you recommend it, or are you looking to get out?
Just got in.
I just got in. I want to get out. No, I don't know. I'm gonna see how we get on because I heard a rumor from a little bird that Disney does not like you to sell your points for less than market value.
And they won't let you sell them. They control the price from
They
what
do.
I remember quite closely.
So they do step in and take your points off you if you want to sell them.
You've got to give them first refusal, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause they want to keep the prices as high as they can.
Yeah.
So, not a lot of people know that.
No, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
My name is Michael Caine.
My wife is Mrs. Kane.
Okay.
Right.
Is there anything else we need to know about DVC?
No, nothing at all. It's
Nothing
one
at
of the most boring subjects in the world. We've done it.
It's actually really good. We were very, very tempted, but we never went for it. And it wasn't because it wasn't a good deal. It was because it was kind of break even, and then we were sort of worried that what happens if airfares really go up? Would that kind of put the spoiler on it and things like that? But
The
if
annoying
we'd done
thing
it,
is,
sorry.
So I was going to say, go on, Paul. Sorry.
I was just going to say, if we'd done it when we looked at it, which was probably about 7-8 years ago, we'd have probably, benefited from it, I think.
Mm.
We looked about 6 years ago.
I'd be interested if it was more Disneyland Paris. If we could actually do DVC at Disneyland Paris, that'd be something I consider.
The problem is you buy it in dollars and you pay for it in dollars, and since the pound has sunk against the dollar, I know I'm paying a little bit more every month.
Yeah.
So that's annoying. But if the pound was to rebound, it'd be less. So.
They should be switched on enough that you could do it in pounds. Disney's worldwide. It's everywhere. You should just be buying your points, shouldn't you, to be using everywhere? Which you do, but you need a resort, as you say.
Yeah.
Be interesting. Well, what does everyone think about Kathy Powell, anyway?
Yeah, speaking of Disneyland Paris.
Exciting times.
Yeah. Tell us about her. Where does she come from? Who is she?
She's a Cockney, I think, from London. That London. She's been working over in Australia. Can you tell what it is yet? You can't do that, can you? Sorry.
No.
No then.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I don't know much about her.
She's a mother of 3.
She's pretty.
She's beautiful.
I don't want to sound deck, this is why I said pretty.
So, hang on a minute. So she's not been managing a theme park in Australia. That qualifies her to run a theme park in France.
You've seen how Disneyland Paris has been run before, yeah? I mean, Jesus, Craig could probably run Disneyland Paris.
She's been over everything in Australia, from the films, from the stores. She's very good at the social media implementation and all this type of stuff. I think she's going to be a revelation at Disneyland Paris, and I can't wait for it to take over.
Hang on a minute. We've got to be nice, haven't we? Because the likelihood is she might be listening. Is this true?
What's Britain's biggest Disney podcast?
Why wouldn't we be nice?
It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it?
We are being nice, and we are being truthful.
Nice.
Okay.
The way I look at it, right, and I think Craig kind of hit the nail on the head a few times there, is the fact that what tends to happen in these situations is they put people in charge because of their background, i.e. they've been at Six Flags, they've been at, I don't know, Wet and Wild, whatever. They've been running these things, they've been doing that exact role. Just because you've done a role in a certain field doesn't mean that you know what you're doing. And in fact, sometimes it can actually be detrimental, because if someone's done really well, so say, for example, you bring in a manager who ran a very successful Six Flags park in America, or a few of them, right? And then Disney go, look how he's run those parks, and look how well they've done. That's the kind of guy we need to be running our parks. Let's bring him over to Disney. What they normally bring with them, and what they expect, is what they've done. So that mindset, and that doesn't always reflect Disney. So just because you've got background in managing a theme park of any, magnitude, does not necessarily mean you're going to be good for the job. Now, if you've got someone who's successful in managing big, important things, and this is a new kind of field for that person, I think that's much more fun. I think that's much more interesting and much more likely to be a better result giver than somebody that's done, well at another theme park.
She's very good at implementing across the board, like Zootopia, Zootropolis, whatever it's called. The release of that film might go largely unnoticed in the parks. But what she's done, she's very good at bringing out the merchandise to go along with the movie release. So it's all in the shops, and she'll putting that into the parks. You would imagine a new film comes out, you'll be able to meet the characters, you'll be able to buy the merchandise, you'll have that all tied up. So I think it's good. She's very tech savvy as well. So what's Disneyland Paris crying out for? park-wide Wi-Fi. It hasn't got it. It's
when
like
they
being,
want it.
you know,
Now.
you've got Wi-Fi across the parks. You've got people taking photographs of meeting characters, uploading, free advertising.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think they focus on that enough. Like today, I went to a zoo. I'll name check them because they don't sponsor the show, and they're not going to. It's Colchester Zoo, one fairly near me, and everywhere you went, everywhere you go, the first some of the lines in the intro to Full House. But what I was really trying to say was that they had photo op spots, so they'd have like a model of a giraffe or something. Because unfortunately, the thing with zoos is that animals don't stand still, so you might not always get good pictures. So they had, replicas of said animals that you could stand in front of and have a decent picture. And then what they had underneath that sign that said like photo spot was, please share this picture with us on Instagram. Please share this picture with us on our social media, and have like the Twitter address, have the Facebook address, have the Instagram address, have a hashtag. So therefore, it's saying to you, look, take a picture here, and then this is what you do with it straight afterwards. It's a really simple thing.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing that gets people going. And you're right, Craig. If you've got, Wi-Fi going about those parks, and you put a sign there saying, after you've come off your ride or whatever, please share this on social media and where to do it, that's brilliant. As you say, that's free advertising for them. You're spending your hard-earned money to go to these theme parks or these attractions, and then you're then giving them free advertising afterwards. It's a win-win. And it costs them a couple of £100 to produce some decent-looking signs. Genius. So that's the kind of thing that, if you're listening, of course, Kathy, we would, say is a good choice, a good thing to implement in the parks. Maybe, she might have an interesting view on smoking.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the last few people that have been there haven't been stern enough. Have been kind of too culturally acceptable to the fact that, Europe is still full of dirty big smokers that smoke wherever they want to and not give any kind of regard to anyone else.
The photo pass people sadly lacking in Disneyland Paris.
Well, from what I hear, it's seasonal, because obviously I had my experience a few episodes back when I talked about it. But other people that went last year, in like the kind of high season, definitely had more photo ops than I did. So it could be that it's just seasonal. It could just be that last year, as it was a new thing, they had more people and it didn't take off. But I would like to think it's probably more seasonal. So it'd be interesting for people that go over the summer, over those more peak seasons, to see if you get more opportunities with your photo passes. But yeah, again, something else that, compared to the American parks, it definitely needs. And something that I guested on a podcast the other day. In my Disney opinion, I called in and had a little debate with Mark. And one thing that he feels very strongly about, and I'm slowly kind of getting on his wavelength, which I don't know if is a good or bad thing, is the annual pass. Mm-hmm. Because I think he's got a point.
He thinks they're too cheap, doesn't he?
He thinks they're too cheap, and that essentially what you're then creating is a culture of people using it as a place to doss about in.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a point. I hate saying it because, we've bought annual passes before because of the value, and what it's meant is that we've returned to Disney quicker than we probably would have done had we not had one. But I think that maybe that, that there are definitely negatives to it being that cheap. And so maybe he's got a point. Maybe they should look at changing those prices. I mean, I don't know if you saw the thing that happened the other day with the settlement on the price fixing.
Yeah.
Across Europe. That's interesting. Apparently, the Sun have put a statement out saying it's a victory for the UK. Look how great we are. Now, we all know the scum's a terrible paper at the best of times. But what they actually could have done, by them getting involved, if they think they have, is actually increase the pricing. Because who says they're going to bring the pricing down to what it was across Europe or in other places?
I'm quite sure they won't.
They'll probably put it up.
Yeah.
If anything. So that will just be egg on the scum's face. So that'll be, I mean, that's the only good thing about that story, is it'll make them look like idiots. But yeah, I think he could have a point. So yeah, sorry, Mr. Dolan, I did my usual and just waffled on, and I think you tried to get a word in edgeways.
He's gone.
He's probably got the ump because I didn't shut up.
He's pressed his mute button. He's ranting and raving.
He's got his own soapbox. But I mean, is there anything else to, if this is our forum, if we've got the floor with the person that's now going to be looking after Disneyland Paris, is there anything else that we should be saying or suggesting?
For me, I think the previous guy, Tom Wilbur, I think he's done a stand-up job for what he was given. He steadied the ship, no end. I'm sure he has. I know he's had that money come in from the recapitalisation, but I think now's the point to take the parks to the next level, to that Disney level. And I think from what I've seen of the new lady, I can see that she's going to take it there with what she's done previously in Australia. That she started at the BBC as a sales executive, I think, and slowly she's built this career up, and done a fab job from what I can tell. I think she's on that wavelength with people like us. She's definitely involved in the social media and things like that, and I think now's that time to take it a step up. I've seen they've started giving out their version of magic bands. These new magic cards have already begun, and I think that's just the start of it for where they're going to go now.
Yeah, I've seen it. Is it the New York and the Disneyland hotel that have got those?
Yeah, there's two that have definitely got it.
I think the other thing is it's good to have a European again, but not necessarily a French European. Just that maybe it's got a different perspective on what the European market is and what it needs. Yeah, so I think she's going to bring a different view on things.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Especially when the fact that their second biggest market is us. I think you've got to look at maybe ways she's going to make it better for us, not just the rest of Europe.
Well, she could of course move it back to Dagenham.
Or jelly deals in the parks. I mean, I'm expecting that at least.
Can you imagine? Right, people say about the guest behaviour in Disneyland Paris because of like the Europeans. Can you imagine if they just built it in England? How bad it would have been then. But that's fair enough.
I was imagining it. I was away there imagining it.
Imagine Dragons. Craig,
Yes.
Anything you wanted to add?
Going next February. I've paid. I'm looking forward to going. I'm excited. Our Eve is going in June. I know our Kathy won't be in charge by then, but our Eve is going with the brownies or the Girl Guides, and she's going to be recording a on-the-spot podcast episode for Dis After Dark, and it's going to be Disneyland Paris from the point of view of a 12-year-old girl and her friends.
Does that mean Anne Robinson gets to get involved, or?
Yeah. Stuart Hall is unavailable, so
thank God.
So, if Kathy wants to have a listen in,
becoming extremely dark.
I'm sure she'll be entertained by our Eve and all her friends, and out of the mouths of babes in it. I mean, some brilliant Disney attractions have come out of children's gobs, like Splash Mountain, as an example.
Indeed, yeah, very, very true, very true. Yeah, well, all the best. We wish you well in this new endeavour that you'll be taking over from soon. And also props to our friends over at Dedicated DLP, who actually didn't force her to listen to the episode, obviously, but she did listen to the latest podcast and commented on it. So that's great news, an absolute scoop that we can only hope to equal it at some point, either on this episode or, of course, on your eves. So that's blinding. Now, we've talked about, it's been an action-packed show. We've talked DVC. Talked about me being late. Talked about various lords. SodaStream and Sainsbury's quite a lot. But
episode 3B.
Episode
my
3,
wife.
3.1. And my wife's. But
my wife.
What we could talk about now is the fact there's been a massive film release. And it's kind of setting a trend.
Pee Wee Herman.
No, actually. Shut up, Pee Wee. Go back to cinema. No, The Jungle Book came out this weekend. Both sides of the pond.
Ooby-doo.
Of course, the UK did have to have a new title. So it's called...
Again?
Yeah. It's called A Forest Story. Because some of the trademarks... No, I'm joking. It is called The Jungle Book on both sides of the pond, which is nice for the merchandising. Now, it's too early for me to have gone and seen it. I think my wife, my daughter are going to be going to see it this week. They're looking to see it midweek. I'm not going to be available to see it, unfortunately, due to work commitments. So I will be seeing it at a later date. But it's had a massive opening weekend, hasn't it?
Mm.
It has. I can tell you something really cool about it, though. Unlike the ones like Cinderella and the other ones they've done, this one actually has songs in it.
You know what? I thought it didn't, but apparently it does.
It does. Not many. I think it's got Bare Necessities and I Want to Be Like You.
There's a version of Trust in Me as well.
And Trust in Me, yeah.
The SodaStream advert star Scarlett Johansson, or as we call her, ScoJo, sings. Because people are getting their knickers in a twist about this, that ScoJo is voicing Car, the snake.
Yeah, I thought it was Benedict Cumberbatch that was doing it, but I was well off.
Really? Okay.
He does everything, though, doesn't he?
He does do everything. That's true.
He does the radio adverts for Selco.
He does anything with the pulse.
Where the trade go.
Oh.
You probably that was somebody who used to have a show in the 70s on the BBC. Used to wear tracksuits, but
known as Craig Lucas.
He wishes he had shows in the 70s.
I was nappy training in the 70s, mate.
Too much information. So, no one here has seen it yet, have they?
No.
No.
It's just not on my radar.
See, it wasn't on my radar, okay? And then about 3 weeks ago, no, a bit longer than that, I saw The Life of Pi. Okay? And for those that haven't seen it, it's quite...
I like pie.
heavy. No, not that kind of pie. It's not the Pie Festival celebration. It's a lot of it takes place in a boat with a human and a couple of animals, one including a tiger. So, but it doesn't look. It looks really realistic. Like if you watch something like Jumanji nowadays, the CGI animals in it look terrible. But this film, it's real photorealism. It's hard to not believe a tiger was on the boat with him. Of course it wasn't, but it's hard to believe that. And the Jungle Book, although it's a live action version of it, similar kind of setup there in that it's all been filmed in LA. It's all been filmed on green screen, but unlike Star Wars, it doesn't look wooden. I'm talking obviously 1 to 3. We know that 7, 8, and 9 are proper sets. And I saw the trailer for it and thought, you know what, actually this looks pretty good. And I mean, when it was first announced and Jon Favreau, I like his work other than Iron Man 2. But like you, Craig, it just wasn't something that filled me with any kind of interest. I didn't like Melissa and I didn't like Cinderella. We've talked before about that and Pete's Dragon looking crap as well. So
that does look crap. Have you seen it?
Oh, Furry Elliot. Yeah, he can job on.
Ridiculous.
But this does look good, and the reviews have been brilliant. Reviews have been really, really good for it, and I think it's opened just over 100 million So not the biggest box office this year, but it's up there, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because I mean, obviously we had a huge release the other week of Batman vs Superman, which dropped off by 71% in its second week, which is a massive decline, obviously, week on week. So it'll be interesting to see how Jungle Book goes, but I think because its reviews have been so good, I think it might have legs, at least until Captain America, what's it called? Civil War. No, Infinity War. Yeah.
So has Disney got a film coming out every month or something now?
Captain America's 29th of April, isn't it?
Yeah, and then Pete's Dragon comes out in August. The BFG comes out in July.
We've got Finding Dory coming up before that. So it's July?
That's June or July. Well, June in America.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's busy. No wonder they couldn't fit Tron 3 in the schedule.
They got all these films making a fortune, yet they got to get rid of actors at Walt Disney World and cut back on this and cut back on that to pay for Shanghai. Why don't they just release another bloody Marvel film or something?
Well, see, I was so when I was talking about when I phoned up Mark's show the other day and we was talking about the Jungle Book and the live action Disney films and Marvel, the one thing I said about the Marvel films is that I'm worried they're going to burn out. They've just announced the other day Guardians of the Galaxy 3 while they're filming Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and we know that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 won't be coming out in this wave of Disney film, in Marvel films. It'll be wave 4, and we've gone from 2 Marvel films, well, 1 Marvel film a year to 2 Marvel films a year to 3, and
3 next
possibly
year.
4 if they. And I don't mean that as a Norse god. I mean the number 4. But the thing is, I'm starting to think they could be like burning the candle at both ends. My wife already cannot cope with the amount of Marvel films coming out. She can't get her head around the different stories and the different films. And the thing is, she's not a massive comic book fan, and nor are a lot of the core audience. Because let's be honest, the reason these films are as popular as ours, they've got crossover appeal. They, keep the comic geeks happy, but also they're interesting enough and they're open enough to be absorbed by people that don't know the comics and the source, stories in a lot of these films. So, my fear is that, because they're doing so well, they're just making too many. And eventually it's going to burn out.
I think the saving grace is going to be the fact that the change of characters. I think once we've lost Iron Man and Cap and Thor, I think.
But you're not losing them, are you? You're losing the actors.
Well, they've already said that they won't recast Iron Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They said we will just leave it. He just won't be in the MCU anymore.
You need to listen to Strike Podcast Episode 2 coming out tomorrow.
Well, there's not a plug. But,
a butt plug.
And speaking of butt plugs, but the other thing, that's the Marvel thing. That's how I feel about that. But the way we led on to that conversation, we would talk of the live-action Disney films. So we've had Maleficent, we've had Cinderella, and the Jungle Book is now on its way, obviously. They announced this week as well, Peter Pan.
Again.
Well, Disney have never done Peter Pan, but yes, how many live-action Peter Pan films have we had in the last 10, 15 years?
Sooner or later,
how many of them been any good?
Sooner or later, they've got to get one right.
Right. I'm gonna. So the person just said how many of them have been good, and the answer was none. That's a lie. Okay, slightly more than 15 years ago, but we had Hook.
No, bloody skateboards.
Bangarang.
Yeah, no. Hook was fine. Okay.
It was nearly good. Hello to Jacob Isaacs, by the way.
Dustin Hoffman was good. Anyway, Robin Williams. Anyway, so
Peter Pan.
I think I know that is as well. So we've got Peter Pan coming out. It's one of the few ones that I think you could turn into live action, and if you do it well, could be good. But as we've seen recently, they just don't seem to have done it right at all. But we've also got Beauty and the Beast coming out next year. They've announced Aladdin, Mulan, Dumbo, which is hysterical, let's be honest. Tim Burton's Dumbo, bloodthirsty. Hope Johnny Depp plays Dumbo. Apparently Winnie the Pooh, The Little Mermaid, Pinocchio, Fantasia's rumoured.
Oh,
Yeah, rumoured. But the thing is,
Black Cauldron,
well, they've got the rights to the series again, haven't they?
Fox and the Hound.
So that is
Black
definitely
Hole.
happening.
That film Walt Disney made about Adolf Hitler. I mean, where are they going to stop?
Not there.
What they could do is make
Tongue them
cartoon versions of all the live motion films they're making.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can't wait for Disney's animated flubber. But again, the thing is, like, Disney built itself on animated films.
Oh, I thought you were going to break into song then.
I know. I thought they built it on rock and roll.
We've already had one mention of me being gay tonight already. Let's not, rock that boat anymore.
There's another one. Go on.
What? Another live action film?
No, another song.
But I want to see cartoons from Disney. I don't want to see live action films. But if they keep making money, because Maleficent made a lot of money. Cinderella did pretty well. The Jungle Book looks to be massive. So they're going to keep churning them out. And, while people go to see them, maybe with the wrong audience for this, I don't know.
I'm not going to see it.
Good for you, Craig.
I doubt I'll get time to see it either.
So there's none for two. Go on. Who's next?
I'm going to go see it.
No,
I'll be seeing it.
Yeah, I've been seeing it.
Ah, shut up.
And I didn't see The Good Dinosaur.
You're all stupid.
And I've not seen Zootopia yet either.
Zootopia's boss.
No, yeah, but again, the thing is, and Mr. D, you don't have to worry about this problem quite so much anymore. But
brushing his
I
hair.
wonder what you're talking about there, now.
the kid situation.
Do you suffer from male problems?
Are you Pele?
Dysfunction.
I'm not Pele. But
all right, then come on. What don't I need to worry about?
Having to go to the pictures with your kids.
That's true. Although mine still go.
No, but what I mean is that you could you don't have to go with them. If you want to go, you can go.
That's true.
And if you want to go to the pictures, you don't have to get a babysitter for them.
Yeah, that's
at an age now, that's not so much of a problem. Whilst Chris, I don't know if you have. Do you have any kids?
No.
Okay.
None I know of, anyway.
Well, I've had that one before.
Go ahead, lad.
that episode of Jeremy Carlisle was almost complete boss, as Craig would say.
Half hole.
But me and Craig know that one, and Paul, if you don't know it yet, you soon will. But you don't get a chance to go to somewhere anywhere near the amount you'd like to, and you have to be picky. Even with Disney films, although we can take the kids to them, it's my son's still a bit young. My daughter's at a good age, but we have to time it right to make sure that either we can go or one of us can look after him, and it's just complicated, and so I don't get to see the films that I want to. So I have to make a real concerted effort. But the Jungle Book, I actually think I will do, and the other ones just buy on Blu-ray when they come out.
Yeah, I'm not buying it on Blu-ray. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, okay, Craig.
Bite me, Disney. Bite me.
Kids may meet you.
Exactly.
I've trained my kids to eat animals.
What is wrong with you?
We've just had a message in, by the way.
Oh my God.
Kathy.
Yeah. Here we go. Right, this is mind blown. Okay, Chip and Dale from the Rescue Rangers
are dead.
Did you realise?
Are in rehab.
I know exactly what you're going to say, Chris.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah.
Did you ever realise they are just the animated versions of Magnum P.I. and Indiana Jones?
Who, of course, got chased by one of George Lucas's massive testicles.
For them, it would be massive.
Well, it is true that one of them wears a Hawaiian shirt and the other one's got a hat, a wide-brimmed hat.
And a brown leather jacket.
And brown leather jacket, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it was one of those things that I hadn't thought of until I saw it, and then when you see it and when you think about it, how did you never realise it before? Especially when you think about the timelines as well, because Chip and Dale was, I remember it starting, it was about 89, so Indiana Jones was still doing his last crusade, and Magnum was probably still on the air, or had only just got off the air. So, and actually that's a good point. So, you know, we know who played Indiana Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who was supposed to play Indiana Jones?
Tom
Tom
Selleck.
Selleck.
And why didn't he play Indiana Jones?
He was tied up in
PI.
Magnum
PI.
PI.
My
my
head's,
God.
my
This is
head's
like the Da
battered.
Vinci Code.
Ka-ching.
It's the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune.
Walt Disney's head has just walked into the mouse's head and
Frozen
ordered
one.
half a bitter. Yeah, it's battered.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Disney, we're going to tell you something now. And it's last orders at the bar. You're not going to get served because you weren't in on time.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Time's up.
That's it.
Don't forget to do our last sponsor.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking to Logan. He'll be pissed if he doesn't get his...
Logan and Naked Boy.
Nature Boy.
You can't be Nature Boy, right? Unless you're naked, because you never see animals in clothes.
What about
Apart
Ric
from
Flair?
Chip and Dale.
Apart from Zootropolis.
Oh, God.
Chip and Dale, yeah, exactly.
What
Leather
about
jacket, Hawaiian
Ric
shirt.
Flair?
Well, in my
He's
head,
Naked
when I
Boy.
listen to WDW today, Naked Boy is literally naked.
What's Logan doing?
He's getting the back of his neck slapped by Naked Boy's member.
Well, one thing I like about the WDW today, more than the content of the show, more than the presenters, more than Dick Van Dyke whenever they release that episode.
Which someone questioned about the other day, whether we were being played as false.
Well, we are played as fools quite often, but not by this guy.
Yeah.
Logan likes us. But of course, is their in-house band.
Don't start me. It's a freaking CD. Burning me head out.
It's not a CD.
If
You're
they
not in
want
the
to,
studio.
they're not. If they want to come on our show and defend themselves with Naked Boy, they're more than welcome. Until then, go and listen to Off Kilter on the CD on WDW today.
Was Dick Van Dyke also a CD?
He hasn't been out yet.
He's a hologram. That's why he's still going.
Yeah.
It would explain quite a lot, actually. Bless his cotton socks. But the show's
What?
on fire.
Wash his cotton socks.
The show's on fire. The ratings are up. It's partly down to us.
It's all
Also-
down to us, to be
Well,
honest.
I mean, you know, we can say that, but if Logan and the boys weren't as good as they were, it's a bit like this show. We would not be the Britain's let me take that back. The UK's biggest downloaded Disney podcast if we weren't entertaining people.
Would you like to shampoo Logan's hair?
I would have done before he had it trimmed the other day.
Oh, he hasn't had it trimmed, has
Yeah.
he?
Trimmed, but it's still Logan-esque, but it's been trimmed. He
I
looks
would-
less like Harold Ramis now.
As the zone Vosine in the shower, just me and
It's his
Logan.
own foe scene. That
I
should be- that's
was
not even a product.
literally just speaking to Logan, and he is coming to the UK
Whoa!
this summer.
Oh, okay.
He's coming back.
I'm glad
So-
you finished that sentence then.
So if we should get him in the mouse's head now, you know.
Well, we've been trying to. In fact, last year was extremely close and incredibly loud to actually meeting up with him in Londinium.
He passed on
And
two
we
buses.
We didn't get to make it, but third time's a charm. So Logan will sort something out. We're going to have Logan on the show soon anyway, aren't we? But yeah, it'd be nice to actually have a meeting.
Can we get Naked Boy on?
I don't know about that. We'll have to ask Logan.
No, just go circumnavigate round Logan.
Anyway, this is a very long-winded way of saying, other than downloading this podcast and others that we put on our show notes, WDW today, download it today, or any day, but especially today, WDW today.
Or Naked Boy's coming to get you.
nakedly.
With his schlong.
Well, I
Like
think
the greased up death
And
guy.
on that note,
I think there's no final way to wrap up this show. So the voting is still open for the latest round. Come on, Pop Century. We'll be back next week with those results. Back the week after that with a guest that will drop out. And then God knows what happens after that. So thank you for everyone that's come on. I always love it when it's a full house. Everywhere you look. Thank you to Pee Wee Herman. Always a pleasure to have you drop in.
My wife.
Thank you to SodaStream and Sainsbury's for being such a delight. Thank you for the Scottish Land Registry for letting me and Craig become lords. I think that's all the thank yous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to say any other
enough.
thank yous?
No, go buy Star Wars tomorrow, episode 7.
Yeah. £12 in Sainsbury's if you spend 30 quid.
And you get some nectar points on your Lord Branch card.
Get some nectar points. That's what I advert today. Right, but I mean, other fine retailers also will be stocking Star Wars as of tomorrow. So knock yourselves out. You know what? Actually, I've not decided whether or not to buy it.
What?
Because I am holding out. I'm desperately holding out for the projected 3D holographic.
A hero
For a hero,
coming out at Christmas. I honestly think there'll be an extended edition coming out.
Yeah, there will
time
be.
for Rogue One. So it's like, do I bite the bullet now or do I double dip? And I'm not too sure.
Having bought the extended version of The Hobbit, I'm gonna buy this release.
Well,
because that was pants.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. So do that, and we will see you in a week's time. Take care.
Ta-ta, dear listener.
See you later.
That's it. Bye.
Bye.